Let us begin with the topic a structure of an nephron. As we know that the nephron is also called as an uriniferous tubule, that the name given for it, and each kidney is made up of an 1 millions together of an such nephrons. So altogether, as we know that nephron are the structural and functional unit of a kidney. Each kidney has a two part. One is an malphizian tubules, the other one is an renal tubule. So let us begin with an Bowman's capsule. We know this is an cup shape or a sac-like structure which is a double-walled, hence called as Bowman's capsule. This Bowman's capsule, which has been made up of, it consists of a network of a blood capillaries, so called as an glomerulus. The capsule is formed by two layers. As we know, Bowman's capsule is made up of two layers. So it is called as a double wall. The inner wall is called as, or it is made up of an visceral layer. The outer one is called, or it is made up of a parietal layer. The visceral layer is formed by the epithelial cells, and moreover, apart from that, it has been attached with that of an basement membrane, and also capillaries being attached to that of an which is an finger-like projections or an fate, hence it is called as an podocyte. So altogether we can say the entire Bowman's capsule, which is made up of an two layer, inner one is called as a visceral, outer one is called as an parietal. Whereas the inner one is again made up of an three layers. One is an pores, one is a second layer is an basement is an non-porous, and the third one, which is a finger-like projections, again they have the slit pores. So altogether it is present in case of an inner wall of the Bowman's capsule. And the second layer, that is an outermost layer, hence a parietal layer, is a non-porous. Altogether it is not meant for a filtration of an urine. So it is an parietal one. So the visceral layer is an highly involved in case of infiltration of urine. And parietal layer of an Bowman's capsule, which is formed is made up of an squamous epithelial surrounded by an reticula of fibers. There is no role of a filtration of an urine in the parietal. Only it is a concern with that of the visceral layer of the Bowman's capsule. This is concerned with an Bowman's capsule. We know that there is between an visceral layer as well as an parietal layer, we can see the space. The space is called as an capsular space. So naturally we know that which is held responsible for receiving the fluid filtered from that of an capillary. Hence we can say the capsular space. So within the space itself we can see a first set of an blood capillary which receives the blood towards the glomerulus, so called as an efferent arteriole, and it is made up of an 50 a network of an blood capillary, and hence we can say the blood which is present in case of a glomerulus, it has been drained away or removed away from the Bowman's capsule with the help of efferent arteriole. So this is a concern with Arafan. The first part, that is an nothing but a glomerulus. As I said, it is a network of an blood capillary formed by the efferent arteriole, a fine branches of an renal artery. Blood from the glomerulus is carried away with the help of efferent arteriole. And the renal tubules, as we know, the renal tubules, which is the next part of the nephron. As we know that this renal capsule itself or tubules begins with that of a double-walled cup-like structure called as an Bowman's, and which encloses the glomerulus. The glomerulus within a Bowman's capsule are called as an together. As I said, Bowman's capsule along with that of an glomerulus together forms an malphizian tubules. Okay, this is the first part of an nephron, and the tubules itself or a tube-like structure continuous. Continuously, we can say that it has been termed it as an renal tubules. Begins with an the double-walled cup-shaped structure called as an Bowman's capsule, encloses the glomerulus, and also we know that the tubules continues further to form an highly coiled network. We know that it is an coil-like structure, hence we can say proximal convoluted tubule. This proximal convoluted tubule, as it began, so called as an proximal, it is a coil-like, so called as an convoluted, and it is look like a tube-like structure, so called as a tubule. So proximal convoluted tubules. Okay, so we can say that it is an twisted like or a coil like structure which wall is internally made up of an cuboidal cells and it forms a brush border. That is nothing but due to the presence of an microvilli. They are present in case of an PCT wall of the PCT. Continuous with that of a tube-like structure which is an hairpin shape, hence we can say made up of a thick as well as a thin segmentation which is present in case of an descending limb as well as an ascending limb. We know that the fluid itself has been a flows from above to that of and below, hence it is called as a descending limb, whereas the fluid which moves upward, hence it is called as a descending limb. So each limb itself is having a thick as well as a thin filament, hence it is meant for concentration of urine. So we can say that is a thin segmentation of this Hanley's loop is made up of an squamous epithelial as well as a Bowman's wall parietal is also made up of an squamous, whereas a PCT and DCT wall is made up of can say cuboidal epithelial cells. So we know that this ascending itself continues with that of an one more coil-like structure or an twisted like we can say, hence it is it lies in case of an end portion, hence it is called as an distal. It is also coil, so called as an convoluted, and tube like, so called as an tubule. So distal convoluted tubule. And we know that even its wall is also made up of an cuboidal epithelial, and apart from that we can say there is a presence of two hormones in an DCT, that is aldosterone as well as ADH. ADH is nothing but antidiuretic hormone which is held responsible for the reabsorption of an excessive water which is present in the wall of DCT, whereas an aldosterone is held responsible for the reabsorption of excessive salt in it. So these two hormones only present in case of an DCT, those are absent in case of PCT. But one at the same they are like, and they begins with that of an tubules here which is a coil like at the beginning, hence it is called as a proximal, whereas in case of an end portion, hence it is called as a distal convoluted tubule. And apart from that, we know the first malphizian tubule, PCT, DCT, lies in case of an cortex region of the kidney, whereas Hanley's loop and collecting tubules lies in case of medullary region. We know that, as I said, the kidney is structure while externally it is termed as an cortex, whereas the internal layer is called as a medulla. So we can say that cortex, within that we can see the presence of a malphizian tubule. As I said, Bowman's capsule with the glomerulus together forms a malphizian tubule, as well as an proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubules. All the three lies in case of cortex region of the kidney, whereas this Hanley's loop and collecting tubules lies in case of medullary region of the kidney. So we can say altogether, hence kidney is made up of 1 millions together of such nephrons which are held responsible for the formation of an urine in the kidney with the help of ultrafiltration, where it has been carried out in the malphizian tubules, whereas the remaining part where we can see the absorption of the useful substances, so called as a tubular absorption, whereas the remaining one which is not required for the body, it has been eliminated with the help of DCT as well as a CT. So in this way, this nephron itself is going to be helpful, or it plays a vital role in case of urine formation. So this is regarding concern with that of the structure of nephron.